Hey, thank you for tuning back into my YouTube channel. This is a cool down that you can do after your training. The main thing I want you to think about is calming the body down, also calming the mind down. So it's one of those things, the body doesn't necessarily know the difference between good stress and bad stress. Obviously, exercise is a good stress on the body, but you also need to give it that time to really slow down, cool down the body, but also calm the mindset. So it kind of allows you to go off into a more focused state when you give yourself that chance to cool down. A lot of people kind of straight off the gym, straight out into like hectic world of like transport and work and whatever, and you just have to think about the effect that will be having on your brain, eventually on your body as well. So super important to take this time. It's up to you whether you want to keep your shoes on or not. Depends where you are. I like to stretch with my shoes off. Okay guys, so let's get started. We're going to start in just a comfortable seated position. So don't worry about it looking too yogi or anything like that. You're just going to come to sit down. And you can rest the palms on the knees just wherever they are. And we're just going to take this moment to really slow our body down and also a breath. It might feel a little bit tricky to do so if you just come from cardio. So just taking that opportunity to really ground down here, breathing in and out through your nose if you can. Even if that feels a little bit counterintuitive, if you're feeling a bit out of breath, by breathing in and out through the nose is a really nice way to allow the body to calm down. See if you can start to extend the length of your exhales. Perhaps your inhales and your exhales start to meet in length as well. So feel inhales through the nose. Feel exhales through the nose. So important to take this opportunity to slow the mind and the body down. Hard work is done. Just starting to access a bit of that meditative state now. And put you in a nicer position for our stretch as well. So many people so quickly out of the door after their workouts. Just give yourself that opportunity. You deserve that respect on your body, having worked it super hard. The best way you're going to see results is to look out for it on the inside as well as just the outside. So okay, from here we're going to work our way into child's pose. So you can have a mat if it feels more comfortable for you. Your knees will be wide apart and your toes together, and then just start to reach your arms forward. And again, just keep tapping into that breath here, your inhales and your exhales. And you can stay in child's pose. You're just going to walk your hands to the right hand side. You can feel a really nice deep stretch down the left hand side of the body. And I want you to really think about breathing that space into the area between the left finger all the way down to the left hip. Creating space with our breath. Still calming the body down after our training. And then we'll start to work towards the opposite side. So left arms out to the left-hand side. And then again, just breathing down the space all the way from the fingertip down towards the hip. A really nice way to calm the nervous system here. And then come all the way back through to center. You're going to start to walk yourself up into all fours. And we're going to work into the shoulders a little bit here. So just from here, start to keep your hips exactly where they are. So they're over your knees. And then walk your hands forward. You can allow your chest to soften down towards the ground. You can place your forehead down. You can place your chin down. Just anything that feels nourishing for your body right now. And just breathe. Allow the space to open in the shoulders, in the chest. Still really honing in on that breath to help create space in the mind, in the body. Create focus for the rest of the day. Get yourself off of that kind of fight or flight mode and into a bit more of a restful state. here, start to walk your hands back through to center. You can take a thread the needle here, which is nice for the shoulders. From here, your left arm reaches to the sky, and then start to thread the arm all the way through. So your shoulder comes down towards the mat or the floor, and then take your right arm in front of you. You can keep it where it is, otherwise take it slightly over to the left-hand side as you breathe. You open through the space in the chest and the shoulders into the middle of the spine. Come back through to center, back to all fours, and then we'll take it on the other side now. So right arm to the sky. As you thread the arm all the way through, allow the shoulder as much as you can to rest on the floor. Left arm comes forward. You can stay there, or maybe you start to walk it to the right hand side slightly, just to feel that slightly deeper stretch down the chest. Breathing, softening here. Start to work your way back through to center. I'm going to work to the lower body now. So from here, start to work your way into a downward facing dog position. So think about tailbone lifting to the sky, chest to thighs. Eventually start to straighten through the leg. You can start to pedal out the feet and the knees, just working through the backs of the legs. Then we're going to set up for our pigeon pose here. So the right leg to the sky, and then bring your right knee to your right wrist. Shin is about 45 degrees on your mat. As you inhale, you lift the chest. Think about squaring off the hips. You can always place a block underneath your hip if it's lifted, if you want a bit more support to help square the hips. And then from here, you exhale, slowly start to soften down. You can stay on your hands. You can come to elbows. Otherwise, you can come all the way down. Stay where you are, but if you have any knee injuries or knee pain going on here, then just take a figure 4 stretch instead. So the right ankle to the left knee, reach towards the thighs. You can come into the thigh or into the shin as you lean back. You can get the similar sort of stretch. Just be nicer on your knee. There's no such thing as a good knee stretch. You never want to feel like your knee is stretching in these positions. So if you're back in pigeon, you're back with me. Otherwise, take the figure 4 on both sides. You're all good. And rather than sinking onto one side, you'll have a tendency to want to sink onto your right hip here. See if you can keep central. So the left hip is forward, right hip back. And again, just using your breath to create space in the area. And don't worry if it feels a little uncomfortable. Most people find this pretty challenging, especially if you spend a lot of time training and sitting down. Not so much time on the old flexibility malarkey. But on that note, as much of these stretches are really, really helpful for us to calm down and cool down, they should be done. This is good for flexibility, but you also need to be thinking a lot about your mobility. So this will make us passively flexible. We want mobility, so that means that we can activate our muscles safely in the range of motion. More on that in another video. From here, take your hands on the inside, take your right foot on the outside of both hands. If you're on figure 4, you can join us back here now. So hands are on the inside, right foot on the outside, left knee to the ground. We'll take a little lizard pose here. As you inhale, lift the chest. As you exhale, either stay on your hands or you can come down towards your elbows. Maybe if you're in between both of those, you can place blocks or books underneath your elbows. I'm pretty good here, just thinking about opening through the front side of the left hip as you breathe and soften into the space around the hip flexors. From here, lift your left knee off of the ground, and then face your right foot to the left-hand side. We're going to sit in a low kind of squat position here. You can use your hands as much as you need to. Then start to bend the left knee now, so working to the opposite side. Now face the left-hand side. Your left knee will come towards your left wrist. So we're happily on the other side now. If you took figure 4, you take it on this side now. As you inhale, lift the chest, square off the hips, not dumping into the left side. Stay on your hands, or come all the way down. Perhaps you're on your elbows, maybe even on your hands. But try not to do it the compensation of just hanging off that hip joint. So what I was talking about with the mobility, we want to keep our control around that range. So there's some strengthening drills and kind of mobility drills that you can do to make sure that that's there. This is nice for creating a little bit of passive flexibility, but just not relying on it that whole time. Nice time to go a little bit more inward now when you're taking these stretches. Tune off that world around you. Turn the volume up on the inside. From here, walk your hands back. Left foot on the outside of both hands. You can use your hand to get there if you need to. Right knee on the ground. As you inhale, you lift. Stay with me with your hands on the ground. Otherwise, you can go onto your elbows. Maybe using those blocks or bricks if you did on the other side. Just breathing, softening here. And what you'll notice is the more you can soften here, rather than resist the stretch, the more your body will start to open up. So as much as you can, breathing here. I'm going to be holding these stretches up to 2 minutes. Especially if you have a bit more time, feel free to hold them for longer. Just allow the body to relax and release. From here, we'll lift our back knee off of the ground, come back into that squat position, and then eventually all the way back to the top as we start to come into a plank position. You're going to release yourself into your child's pose. Breathe, soften there. From here, walk your hands back towards your knees. Nothing fancy, let's just come onto our back. We're going to finish off with a spinal twist. Super nice for our body to finish up with. So bring your knees towards your chest. You're going to take your right knee towards your chest. Your left leg extends in front of you. Take your right knee over to the left-hand side as you gaze towards your right-hand side. So my shoulder is stable on the floor. So if you need to, you can come back a little bit to let the shoulder rest. Main focus is the shoulder, not on the knee being on the ground. But we're going to use our inhale to lengthen the spine. And the exhale helps you twist a little deeper. Look towards the opposite hand. So we're looking towards our right-hand side now. And again, you really can't take enough of these. And you really want to be spending about a couple of minutes at least on one side and then the other. It's such a nice thing to do after you've been training. So using your breath, lengthen through the spine, twisting deeper and massaging our internal organs as well. All the good things. And it just feels nice. Come back through to center. Left knee to your chest, right leg extends. We'll do it on the other side now. Take your time, you don't have to move quickly here. Breathing. Opening into the space. Come back to center, hug your knees towards your chest, reset the spine. You can take any last little movements that you'd like to, but otherwise you're coming up with me. Thank you so much for joining me for your stretch session today. I hope you're feeling a little calmer going back into your day. Remember, this is so important as your other training. Getting your mind and body back into a really nice place to go back into the rest of your day. If you did like it, please like and comment below. Otherwise, any feedback, I'd love to hear. Also, know that you can get in touch with me on my Instagram @KimHartwell, or otherwise it's kimhartwell.com. And my email is kim@kimhartwell.com. So all the info is below. Have a lovely rest of your day. Good job on the stretch. I see you soon.